good with this. And I think that's really in the hands of every man, woman, and child on the planet. So I think the responsibility, ironically, yes, our leaders and these very powerful interests do have a lot of responsibility. But I agree with you. With each new administration or new leader in another country, these are the people who do disclose. And I've been saying for 20 years, remember the 2001 Disclosure Project Press Club event, I did because I had already decided and concluded that the governments of the world won't do it unless we do it first. So if the people lead, the leaders will follow. So we, the people, have to provide the impetus, the leadership, the vision. And I think that is a message of empowerment. It sort of scares people because people would rather sit in front of their television looking at TV and eating Cheetos. But in reality, this is a call for people to pick up this responsibility themselves. Everybody else, we have someone else do it. No, everyone listening to this needs to understand you are not you, but all of us together are responsible for disclosure, for funding and supporting zero-point energy systems, for making contact with these civilizations. You don't need, if you want permission, I will give you permission. You have permission to make contact with these civilizations on behalf of the human race. You don't need the head of Army Intelligence to say, yes, you can, or the president. You're a child of Earth and you can do this. And this is what people have to do. So I think it's more about us taking responsibility for ourselves, our planet, and our future. And not look to the fact that Big Brother somewhere is going to do this for us. Because that kind of dependency is a trap. I think we have to be in charge of disclosure. We have to be in charge of releasing these technologies. And we have to be also, we the people, in charge of an interplanetary peaceful diplomatic initiative, which is really how I started, why I got involved with all this. It wasn't disclosure. It's creating conscious people who understood the nature of the cosmos and the conscious universe within us. And
I think we need the maturation of the human race. We need to gain some wisdom. I think that's...
We have the wisdom, we just have to own it.
Yes.
Okay, all the knowledge and all the wisdom we need to make this leap into a new civilization exists today. All the technologies we need to have a sustainable, high-tech civilization we have today. It's all there. The missing link is the courage, the integrity, the vision to do it. There are people who are very supportive of this disclosure happening. The problem is moral support and taking dispositive action are two different things. And I think that the courage and integrity and willing to take the hit to your reputation.
And maybe your pension?
Look at the things that are said about me. There aren't a lot of people who, it's one thing if you, whatever, but there aren't a lot of folks who give up their professional career or their political career. And so, to give you one little vignette, I had a meeting for about 11 hours with one of the deputy directors of the National Science Foundation and one of the 5 directors of NASA some years ago. And they were very, very supportive and interested in this. And they were dealing specifically with climate change and the problems with the biosphere. And the one was in charge of all the satellite imaging of the biosphere. And she told me back then that if the public knew how much trouble we were in, there'd be widespread panic. But I said, well, will you help us? And they said, no, this whole subject is too controversial and dangerous. It'd be the end of our careers. So I thought to myself, my career is here, the future of the human race and the planet is here. And so they choose their careerism. So at a certain point, people have to make a decision. This was the very hard decision I had to make a few years ago about my own career. Will I stay as an emergency doctor and have a comfortable upper middle class life doing this and that and the esteem of people for doing what I'm doing? Or become, as Lawrence Rockefeller told me I would be, sort of the court jester and made fun of and demeaned and defamed. But, I made the decision, I don't really care, what other people think. I care about what the right thing is to do. But that's very hard to find. in the upper echelons of these bureaucracies, government, and corporations. This is why I keep returning to the fact that, yes, there are a lot of people following disclosure, a lot of people supportive, but they don't want to lead it. Remember my story about Lawrence Rockefeller making his fingers like this, talking about the flock of geese?
Not even he wanted to lead it.
He was towards the end of his life. He wanted to be way back here. He didn't want to be up here. So I think the people need to take this leadership. The people need to do this. And I think the more that we empower ourselves and get out of this mindset that someone's going to do it for us, the better off we're going to be. It's time for us to come together as a planet, as a people. I hope Gaia can be instrumental in this in the future, to organize a global movement to see that happen. Because really very quickly, this planet could be taken from the path it's on into a path of enlightenment and sustainability that'd be just amazingly beautiful. We wouldn't even recognize it in 20 years.